Welcome to Khetz Tutorials, and in this video, I'll be doing question 18 from 1.5 exercises in James Stewart calculus. So it says, the graph of f is given, y is f 1 to 1. So remember that a 1 to 1 function has one y value for every x value. And now we use the horizontal line test to check that. So if you put a horizontal line there, you can see that that x only has one y value, and wherever you put a horizontal line, you should see that each x only has one corresponding y value. So that's the reason for the first question. Each x value only has one y value associated with it. Second question says, what are the domain and range of f inverse? So it's not f, but f inverse. Remember that this is the graph of f, but we're asked for the domain and range of f inverse. So remember that when you invert a function, its original function's range now becomes the inverse's domain, and the original function's domain becomes the inverse's range, and vice versa. So to find the domain of the inverse, we're actually going to look at the range of the original function f. So its range is from -1 there all the way to 3. And since it's the domain, we're going to use the values which you got from the original graph's y, but remember that the domain is still x. So don't make that mistake. Even though you used y values of the original, it's still the domain and it's still written as an x. So it's between -1 and 3. And we're going to do the same with the range. You're going to look at the domain of the original and give it as the range of the inverse. So that would be from -3 over there all the way to 3, somewhere here. And that would be our range. Third question says, what is the value of f inverse of -2? So just like with the domain and range, we're going to swap these around. If it were f of 2, we'd come to 2, then read out the y value. But now it's f inverse of 2. So this is essentially the y value in the original function. So if you go to the y value, a y value of 2, that's there, and we have an x value of 0. So that would be our answer. So instead of giving the y value, we now give the x value. In the original, it would be 0, 2. In the inverse, we read it as 2, 0. So the coordinates are swapped around. And the same applies in the next question. It says, estimate the value of f inverse of 0. So we're going to look at this as a y value in the original function. So this is where we have a y value of 0. That coordinate there would perhaps be negative 1.8, and the y would be 0. But since this is the inverse, we now give the x as the answer in this case. So the coordinates are swapped around. And that is how you'd answer this question.